How many people do you know smoke? I'm sure each of us can come up with a handful of people we know that are smokers. According to research done by the American Heart Association, an estimated 25.9 million men and 20.7 million women are smokers. They also state that smoking is more prevalent among those who have earned a GED at 43.2%, and among those with 9 to 11 years of education, 32.6%. This is compared with those who have had more than 16 years of education, only 7.1%. It's highest among those living below the poverty level, 29.9%. According to research conducted by the University of Illinois, every day at least 3,000 U.S. teens become established smokers. This is very discouraging to me because it is sad to think that many young people in our society are taking such a huge risk with their health and bodies so early in their lives. Smoking affects many parts of your body. In fact, there are very few parts unaffected by the chemicals in cigarettes. Smoking increases the risk for cancer of the mouth, esophagus, and throat, along with gum disease, tooth decay, more frequent headaches, and an increased risk of stroke because of the lack of oxygen to the brain due to narrow blood vessels. The chemicals also attack the lining of the bronchi as it passes through, causing inflammation, which then results into that horrible chronic smoker's cough. Since the bronchi becomes weak, a smoker is much more susceptible to bronchial infections, which can actually be fatal, especially if they're left untreated. Death, however, is not extremely common, but it's still a possibility. Studies have shown smokers are 10 times more likely to develop lung cancer and emphysema than a non-smoker. Nicotine found in cigarettes raises blood pressure, which can lead to kidney damage, and it also causes blood to clot so much easier. Along with this, carbon monoxide robs the blood of oxygen, leading to cholesterol deposits on artery walls, greatly increasing the risk of heart attack. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was extremely surprised to learn smoking affects the digestive system because it increases stomach acid, leading to heartburn and even ulcers, along with many carcinogens from cigarettes excreted in the urine, where their presence can cause bladder cancer, which too can be very fatal. Now, these days we have an outstanding amount of technology and medical advances, but even then they only go so far. We only have one set of lungs, and once you damage them, there's only so much that can be done. I mean, it's not like a car where you can just go down the street and get a new part to replace the old one that just broke. This is why it is very important we take care of the body and the organs that we have. In many cases, although not all, the older a person becomes, the more mature they are and the smarter they are in decision making. This is why I feel the legal smoking age should be raised to at least 21. Right now, the legal smoking age is 18. A recent study found in the book Addiction Treatment, A Strength's Perspective, shows that the prefrontal cortex of the brain does not fully mature until after the age of 20. This particular part of the brain is linked to judgment, novelty-seeking, and self-awareness, which helps explain why many teens engage in foolish, high-risk behavior that is usually even against their values or level of intelligence. So many young people in this world are trying to be cool or be part of the popular crowd and are trying to find themselves. While trying to do all these things, they are looking for that thrill or rush or ways to have fun. In doing so, they begin to experiment with things such as alcohol and cigarettes. I mean, they think, hey, why not? Everybody on TV does it, and they have everything, from fame to money to popularity. In my own personal study, I have found most young people begin drinking, then smoking, because a cigarette is said to give you that extra buzz. Obviously, this all takes place before they are of legal age. This seems to be partially because the age gap between these teens and those old enough to buy these things are not significant enough. Many 18-year-olds have friends who are old enough to buy alcohol, and yet they also still associate with those younger than they are who are not old enough to buy cigarettes. I mean, really, think back to when you were around the age of 18. How many friends did you have older than you and younger than you? I know I had a variety in each category. So just as their friends buy them alcohol, they buy their younger friends cigarettes. Increasing the legal age that you are allowed to buy cigarettes might help this situation in some cases. On the other hand, you might have those young individuals who make decisions with a childish mindset. They are quick to do things and take part in activities without even thinking twice about them. They do things in the heat of the moment, and everything is all about being young and having fun. They never stop to think or consider how it might affect them later. The future is never on their mind. They are always about just living for today. So once again, raising the legal smoking age might allow some people those few extra years they need to grow up a little, mature, and consider the consequences of their actions. There are many campaigns and organizations set up to help fight this growing problem in our society. So maybe now, more of us might stop and consider joining in on the fight against smoking, especially in adolescents.